Hello.
Unmuted.
Okay.
Just an FYI.
We'll call the meeting to order of the Admin and Finance Standing Committee for Tuesday, November 25th. Can I get a motion to approve the November 11th meeting minutes?
I move to approve November 11th meeting minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, all those opposed? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed,
Is there
okay.
anyone left to oppose?
No, okay. They are approved. Okay, let me just pull up the packet here. So, city attorney contact extension, action tonight. Let me apologize, I just got here.
I did it.
You and me both.
Well, maybe I didn't
Take a
pull it
breath,
out.
take a
Take a
moment.
breath, take a minute. Okay. So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Lonnie, that this is just extending what's already in place because we don't have anything else going on with him yet.
Nope, it's just another 3 months.
That's what it looked like to
Just
me.
changed the dates, nothing within the contract changed, just the dates.
None of its duties are,
Everything's, okay.
Everything's the same, but the dates.
Okay, so,
that was easy.
and that is up for action tonight, not discussion, so, we will, does anybody have any questions on that?
No.
It
Okay,
was really straightforward.
okay, and I haven't talked to the mayor on where everything's at, moving forward or anything like that, so,
I guess he still has not talked to Kelly Lynch. It's not getting him the information that he wants.
and who's Kelly? She was the,
He's the head of the League of Cities in Town.
okay, thank you. Okay, so, perfect, all right, so that'll be action tonight. Update the business registration ordinance discussion tonight.
Da-da-da-da.
Yes, yes, yes. Let me pull it up here.
Hold on.
I have down that we're gonna start with 319.
If you want to share your screen.
I will in just a second, sorry,
Okay.
just typing and typing.
Typing, I understand.
Mhm.
Yes, I do.
We hear you.
I know, I had to move that.
Okay. Oh.
Same as that's the date. Waiting
Why are you
from,
on quiet?
okay. Okey dokey. Y'all, let's open this up.
Okay, so. All right. This is the right one. Here we go. Where were we at, Sandy? 3-1-9, okay. Okay.
Waiting for it to log me in, no audio.
And
Join.
This is just kind of outside. I had gone to the coffee kiosk yesterday and I saw that as of November 1st, they're gonna start resort tax. Does that mean they got away with it all these years?
No, they've been paying it, but, it was just included in their prices,
Oh, okay.
so now it's going to be on top of their prices. But no, she's always paid, because I estimated the same thing, because I saw that when we went and got coffee.
You too. It's like they haven't been paying,
yeah, a lot of people, they'll
They'll just build it into the price.
wrap it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess now she's going to tax it on top of it.
I imagine it would be easier for her if they were tacked in on top of it. So basically, she's raising her prices. But so sneakily. I like it.
All right.
Genius.
Which one's which copy?
City Brew.
Oh, okay.
All right. Ordinance.
It's hard when you're doing small items because if you don't have it built into the price, you have to deal with so much change.
Yeah.
Like if I would do I would have to set my prices on my ice cream cones and stuff like that so that they were like $2.75. Because if they were like $2.25, then I was giving out like, 75 tons of change and you get.
But no pennies.
And, yeah, no pennies now. So I would think honestly that some people would go the opposite direction
Yeah.
because it's, yeah. The no penny thing could be, they say it's, who it's going to affect most are the small town Main Street businesses. because they don't, you know,
They don't know if they're gonna round up or round down.
down, well, yeah, and a lot of them still take cash.
Yeah.
And, you know, so credit card fees, they don't have the purchasing power to negotiate lower credit card fees, so the credit card fees are like 3%.
They actually do.
Yeah.
I've had those discussions with my credit card fee companies.
Have you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Hmm.
Thank God I don't have to do that anymore.
Yes. Oh, I know, it's awful.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
They're ready to full screen. I keep forgetting.
Okay.
I think
So when you share this on like the screen like that, does it record the
yeah.
the actual? Okay,
Mhm.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it records the screen.
Oh, good. That's great.
What you see there is what you see recording.
Okay, that's good.
Hi, Angie.
Alrighty, so we were at,
319.
hold tight, alright. Temporary vendor sponsors, didn't we do this?
I have business registration fees. Did you already renumber this?
No, I did not.
So I have, the temporary vendors were under 3-1-8, so we must have redone them a little bit.
Might have auto done it while I was going through and editing them.
Oh, that could be, okay.
Okay, it's business registration fees.
Alright. City council shall by resolution set the fee schedule for business registrations and any related fees that may be applied to a business that the city registers. All fees are non-refundable and cannot be prorated.
That works fine. That way you're not calling out like appropriate inspections or transfer or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
When a business may fall into multiple registration categories, only the highest fee shall apply.
Yeah, because we changed it from tier, is that
Yep.
right? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, basically just remove tier throughout.
And then you don't have an example?
We do, we have that example still. When lodging facility also has a restaurant, only the highest fee would apply.
They don't get charged
So we're getting
double.
rid of the words here everywhere?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really mean anything to them.
Yeah. And more so, we've just been using categories so it keeps it
Right.
consistent. All right, business registration fees are collected for the fiscal year beginning July 1st and expiring June 30th. We removed collection, and I think we
Right.
just combined all of that into.
Now, why did we remove the, where there is any question regarding? Why did we remove that?
I think it goes,
Is it covered somewhere else?
I think it's covered somewhere else.
It does sound familiar to me.
Yeah, we did talk about this at our last meeting. But we were ending off.
I don't remember where we had it, but we must have had it, so let's not try to, yeah, I already went back that far. It was, I think it's way back. I think it's way back.
Yeah, I think it was something that was duplicated.
Yeah, I think that it is redundant.
Where, I'm sorry, where is this?
Was it?
This part
This
right
yellow
here.
part.
Oh,
We had taken that out. Basically,
I think it might actually
appeal.
be. I know it's in here. I'm just trying to remember where. See all of that. Okay.
where there's any question.
Yeah, I know that we have it in here.
And if I took it out, it's not intentional.
maybe once we get it all done, we'll take a look at that. I'll make a note, make sure it's somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, it must be. I wanna, for now, just remove that,
Leave it that way.
leave it?
Yeah, leave it for right now. And I've just put a note with today's date to make sure it's somewhere else.
Okay.
We took out collection.
Yeah, 'cause it's up above.
Yeah. We took out all of those bullets, or those bullet things, whatever you wanna call them, fees, collections, positive fees, we took those all out,
And we have duties.
right? We were going to anyway.
Yep. So duties, again, all of this seems good. Very minimal.
Inspection would be
Yeah, all certificate holders be subject to reasonable regulation. Ensure compliance. Duties of the registration certificate holder. Every holder of a business registration shall permit all reasonable inspections. Again, none of this has really changed. A little bit of formatting. Nothing changed with prosecution, penalty, severability, effective date.
What happened to codification? Oh, it's on the next page.
Yep, I'm just scrolling, because again, most of that we have wrapped.
No changes.
Yep. And now we're on to chapter 2, which is short-term lodging. And,
So, can I just ask?
Yep.
On that one part with the prosecution, do you want to change that to include that top part up there, down there, with the,
sure.
and then, like, how it goes to it until it's to prosecution, like penalties and prosecutions, or something like that, or,
We have penalty below.
yeah, or whatever you call,
Hopefully penalty starts before prosecution.
it does, but I mean, as
does.
far as how we do the, referred,
So let's go back
the
up to
questions
that real
and
quick.
the appeal process versus,
So I think,
I think that could go down below here with the penalties and the prosecution and the appeal.
I think that this should stay with registration fees, and it's
Okay.
specific because this is specific to fees. It's not a penalty, it's not prosecution. It's just like, hey,
Okay,
there's these 3 categories, which one do I apply to?
It's all
That's what that's
category.
referring
Yeah.
to.
okay,
So I feel like it should stay here. It'd be more so if you want to appeal a penalty, that should be down there. But I think
Okay.
that's included in our resort tax ordinance.
so, okay, Lonnie, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you are late paying your resort tax, not your resort tax, but your registration, does it double? It does not double, okay, I thought it doubled for some reason.
It doubled.
Like,
no.
if you're 30 days late paying your registration, I thought it doubled. Like, if you were paying $100, it was now
No, you just don't
$200.
have it.
We don't have penalty fee on business registration.
Well, we have one in here.
It says.
$500.
Not to exceed 500.
Being late on your business registration?
Well,
It says each violation of this title
Yeah, so if
shall
you,
be a misdemeanor.
so that's what I think we need to work on this a little bit more.
Does it have on there as far as if you're late?
No, but,
It just says.
but it just says penalty.
so we'll start,
So I think we need to address that, I guess, is what my, most places, if you, like, if you're applying for your professional registration through the state or something like that, if you're 30 days late, it doubles. You know, so, yeah, so if you're,
That's gonna hit city council.
well, no, I'm just saying that if you don't pay your business registration,
I think you just don't get a
It
registration.
says that if you don't, then it's a misdemeanor.
and you get up to a
That's
500, and you get up to a $500 fine.
I think that should just be removed.
I don't, and then there's prosecution, violation.
Well, if you
So I guess
continue
it
to do
would-
business and you don't renew your business registration, the city has to have something that they can shut them down. I mean, they can't do business in the city of Red Lodge without having a business registration, period.
I know someone who doesn't.
I know, but we have to have some teeth in here, or people will just stop paying it.
Okay, so let's start here with prosecution, I guess. Prosecution for violation of this title shall be filed with the city attorney and city court upon written complaint of the mayor, city clerk or treasurer or chief of police. We don't need that
Or
many
any-
ors. Hold on.
Or any citizen of the city.
So this is like, if you do not register your business and you just start setting up shop,
Or if you're not paying your fees, if you're not doing your proper inspections. I mean, technically, this could go for, it seems like, I feel like there should be a correct or quit clause versus just a $500
oh,
fee out the gate and a misdemeanor.
So this obviously must be covered somewhere by the state of Montana.
well, part of it is the city can never fine over $500.
But it
Period.
says, if found guilty, the same may be enforced by the city or further action in the manner provided by the laws of the state of Montana. City may, at its discretion, seek one or multiple remedies.
Okay, so under duties, every holder, all property held before enforcing a lien. So here, it also is,
Remedies are up there again.
yeah, so the duties of the registration certificate holder also include, oh, that's the lien. Like, they can put a lien on your property if
That's
you
one
do
of the
30
ones.
days written notice, yeah. Pays to appeal the notice, providing a written statement, written appeal, receipt of the written appeal.
How do you put a lien on a business?
They do it all the time, you see
Yeah.
liens, yeah,
On a business,
yeah. They do,
Tax lien.
not even real property.
I know. It's still an asset.
Yeah, so if you don't sell your company, you never have to pay the lien.
correct. Well, they also could,
They'll come back after you in taxes and stuff and.
So, Denise said that we don't assess late fees, but if somebody's doing business, and they are not registered, she will send a letter stating that part of the code about penalty of up to 500, and then she will give that actually to the judge.
Okay.
And they'll have to- and it goes through. So we are using
okay,
that part of it, but we're not charging late fees.
okay,
So no late fees, but if you are in violation.
If you are doing business and you're not registered, and you don't come in and pay, because like she said, she does it with resort tax as well.
Yeah.
So if we find out somebody's doing business without the registration, and I mean, we're not gonna walk around and check everybody. The police, Scott, was really good about calling in and asking if people had their registrations and stuff.
right,
And if they didn't, then he would go back and be like, hey, you guys need to go get registered, and
yeah.
that's usually,
Is it
Okay.
required to post your business registration somewhere?
It is.
it is, you have to have that,
And that's in here.
Yep.
at least so.
So, well, yeah, not every business has a storefront to post it, though.
No, but
Yeah.
If you have a home office or something like that,
Yeah.
you're supposed to have it posted.
But if you're like a
Like-
plumber or an electrician, and I'm, or,
Keep it in your car.
Yeah.
Because they put it on your windshield.
but like,
like Brian, he makes sure that people are registered when they come in, like contractors and
yeah.
when they're doing business in town, he makes sure they're registered.
I had it on my refrigerator back when we worked out of our house.
This should-
So a contractor coming out of Billings that works in Red Lodge,
Yes,
Mhm.
they have to be registered,
and what if he only works one time?
doesn't matter.
Yep.
He's doing business in Red Lodge, they have to be registered.
Interesting.
Yep. Okay, so, yeah,
I think we can leave it then, or do you feel that we should have,
More teeth.
or less than, not so much more teeth, but, more explicit, like, steps, kind of like we have in a lot of our other ordinances, like first offense, second offense, third offense, or do we just leave this and it doesn't sound like it's been a problem so far, so.
No, but like I said, we don't charge late fees either.
And I
Yeah.
don't think we
Something.
should.
I know. Well, I mean, she's taking the time to write the letter. I mean, that's really what the late fee is for. It's like, we have to come after you for extra stuff. You know, and it's costing the city time and money.
How often is she doing this for people that haven't renewed?
I don't know. So, I know Chrissy, she went through and she sent letters here a month ago to people that we still had in the system that hadn't registered yet.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people, you know, she'll call them or send letters, and the majority of them are like, well, we don't do business in town. And they just don't realize that
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're supposed to say, hey, call and say,
Right, I'm
Right.
wondering, right.
because that's more so what I'm thinking is
So
like,
how
there's
are we-
probably a lot of people that just don't
Right.
renew.
And
And then I
then-
think at that point, instead of,
Well, and it wouldn't, they would just need to notify, you know, at that point, it's like, yeah, and then,
And I
so
think
it's
in the-
waived. I mean, you're not in business here anymore, you don't need to register your business.
yeah, and there
so.
wouldn't be a reason for a late fee because.
Right,
And I'm
right.
pretty sure in the very first letter that goes out for business registration renewal, it does state in there to call if you're no longer doing
But-
business in Red Lodge.
Right,
Sometimes people just don't read that, so.
Yeah, I mean,
Right,
I
they're like,
if it were
oh.
me and I wasn't running a business, like if I came here, did one day and it's like, oh, I need to renew this, I wouldn't even read the letter, I just chuck it.
yeah.
It's like, I don't have to worry about this.
Yep.
So
I don't know if the late fees is
I don't
a
think it's,
necessity.
Okay.
I mean, you guys do have this, and I guess Denny has used it in the past, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with leaving it as long as, you know, I just, if it comes down to where there's a lot of city time going after people to renew their registrations, then I think we need to implement
But I think
a late fee.
the point of when you guys increased those registration fees, here, what, a year ago, 2 years ago?
Two or
From
three
50
years ago.
From $50 up to $100.
Yeah,
You know, that raising of that fee could justify a little bit extra work, because I don't think there's that many letters, so I mean, it's not
it's a substantial amount that increase went in. And
yeah,
again, you gotta be able to justify that increase, so,
And if that increase includes sending out, you know, letters.
Administration,
yeah.
chasing them.
Yeah,
okay,
I just don't think it's
okay,
late fees.
okay. I'm good with that then. We can always, you know, if it ever becomes a problem,
Yeah, and if it
then,
gets to be a bigger problem, then I guess we
right.
can readdress it, but.
I'm gonna jump back up to where we were looking for this, where that got removed. It
I
is,
think Angie wanted to.
oh, I'm sorry, Angie.
I don't know if you can even see me right now. I don't see my picture on my screen. Just along the lines of what you were discussing about the late fees, and I feel like I received an email telling me registrations are due 1st of July. It just seems like something triggered my mind to remind me, and I don't know if you sent out emails to people. Maybe I just remembered. But then my other thought was, first I was wondering, is there a grace period if I happen to forget and I don't get it in by July 1st? Then realizing that the letters aren't set out till like October. So that really is quite a long grace period for people to remember to get it in. But was an email sent out to me prior to the time?
It was letters that were
Okay.
sent out.
Okay,
Yeah, so letters go out, the first part of June for renewals. And then, I think they've done like catch-ups twice now. So the most
Oh.
recent one was in October, and I think there might have been one possibly in September, August, somewhere in there. And those are usually done by phone calls or letters. The
So I-
second, like the second.
I feel like that is sort of a graduated process of letting people know, hey, don't forget. And then,
Yeah.
so rather than putting all that in writing, it seems like it's kind of an unspoken process, which you may or may not want to include in writing, but, and then sending the letter with up to $500 fee if you don't take this seriously and get it done. So it seems like it's,
Yeah, and those letters, the ones that Danae send out when they are, doing business and they're not registered, those are the ones that include the, $500. It mirrors whatever's in that ordinance on the $500 fine.
yeah,
Out of
which you really
curiosity,
do need some
When a-
teeth for someone who's not
Yeah.
registered, and they should be. I think it sounds,
when a business registers with you, do you get their email?
We should be.
Yeah.
I think it's on the form, yeah.
It would seem
It
to
wasn't
me
before, but I thought we added it.
at the expense of a letter, an envelope,
Mhm.
all of that, when you could send out an email with, you know, where you don't have to disclose who it is, so
Yeah.
they're all blind copies. That would be a lot more receptive.
They have to, authorize paperless before you do that, because they need to know that they're looking for it.
Sometimes it'll go into
Their junk
Yeah.
mail because you
Yeah.
send out so many.
Yeah.
and sometimes with our system too, it misses some emails, like for payroll, when we send out the stubs through email, we always have to go back, because we'll have every employee on the list, but once they all send, we'll go back and there'll be like 2 or 3 employees that it didn't send, even though it was on the list. So we have to go back in and send those.
I was just trying to think of a way to reduce the expense of reminding people
Yeah.
rather than.
I'm always a firm believer of send an email and then send a written, but, you know, that's me personally. But I get it, this is also city government, like, it's, yeah,
Different rules.
intentionally, I feel like, worse. Not your fault. This is how government works.
Okay, well, let's move on here.
So just real quickly, jumping back up, I did find where we included that. We had just summarized it very briefly. If a business wishes to appeal a registration, the registration categories or fee, the matter will be escalated to the mayor for final decision versus having this whole,
So we're good.
yeah, it's there. I was like, I know we did this.
I thought we did
So-
too.
Okay.
Okay. Now, down to short-term lodging, Chapter 2. One note that I did have, and I think I sent this in an email to both you guys last week or after, when I sent this out again. And just want your thoughts on it before moving forward too far. Hold tight while I find it again. Does short-term lodging actually need to be its own chapter, or do we move it back into ordinance 963 and keep 907 specific to registrations and not necessarily the types? I prefer, this is just my thoughts, I like to keep it as its own chapter. It provides the opportunity to include other chapters for specific regulation and specific businesses, such as marijuana businesses,
Correct.
food trucks,
Yeah.
business operations that don't,
Contractors.
yeah. So then each of those could have their own chapter and registrations versus necessarily having their own ordinance, because I just feel like, and again, I'll defer to everybody, I'm open either way, but to me, if I'm a business and I'm starting, I'd rather have it all in one place versus, oh, you forgot to look at this ordinance, or you forgot to see, or like, you didn't see this, there's this rule over here.
I think this will make this like, you know, a 100-page document. You can't begin to break out the different kinds
Mm-hmm.
of registrations in here, because you're gonna miss some for sure.
Right.
And they're already covered by a different ordinance that is specific to that. I just think that we should keep this as registration, not break it out.
Okay.
That's my opinion on this.
Jody, you're.
I would just say maybe we just, when I've gone on like, other cities' websites for registration, then I don't remember if it was Whitefish or where it was at, they have their main business registration. And then they have forms out there for other categories, for other paperwork that needs to be filled out online. And it's all under business registration, but the actual registration ordinance is just for registration.
Okay.
But on the website, it's all in one spot, so people can see it. And it's just, and because this ordinance isn't really gonna be what they're gonna see, the city's gonna create forms based off of this ordinance.
Okay.
So you don't really need to expect people to go out and read the ordinance, does that
Sure.
make sense? As long as we have good forms out there that carries this information over into those instructions and those type of things. Like, if you are a marijuana business, this is what we need from you. If you're a short-term rental, this is what we need from you. And this is what we expect from you. You know, so it's more implementing the ordinance, I think, in my mind.
Okay.
So it really doesn't matter, I guess, if this is, 100 pages or not. It's going to be, because it's our forms that, when people come in, that are going to be important to them.
Yeah, and I think it's also just the specific other ordinances and making sure that those are referenced.
Right.
And honestly, it might make sense to include, so taking short terms, this whole chapter 2 out. If it's there, I feel like we need to have it for everybody, because that's
Right.
who I am.
Yeah. Because we have the for a contractor, do we want them to show proof of insurance? Do we want them
Yeah.
to show, their professional licenses so that we know that they're really an electrician or really a plumber?
Right.
And that they're not just some fly-by-night person
Or again, like I think of food trucks, like, okay,
Yeah.
there's a whole other
Oh,
process
process,
just
yeah.
for food trucks.
Right.
And that's why if you put it in registration, you're just gonna muck it all up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the forms are different. I know that we have specific ordinance for short-term rental.
Mhm.
We have a specific ordinance for marijuana businesses.
Yeah.
And we do have, a bunch of different stuff that food trucks have to,
Is it an ordinance?
it's in the resort tax, a lot of it's in the resort tax, but it's also part of the county health and public health and safety. And we also have, if it's a permanent food truck, then Brian has to go out and inspect it. So there's a lot more to it than just,
Where I was going is just to say, that.
Do we have a
short-term-
place where we can reference?
Short-term rentals, ordinance number so-and-so, marijuana businesses.
I
ordinance.
think food truck needs to have, I think it needs work. I think it's kind of scattered amongst a bunch of different things.
It's
I
not all pulled together.
I don't think it is.
I don't think so, because I just remember the name.
It's any restaurant or food truck has a lot of, anything that's selling food has a whole other list of things that they have to abide by because of the health inspector and, and then if it's something that's temporary, it can be moved, but when they had the food truck down there, he had a propane tank hooked to it. Brian had to go out and there's a whole separate city licensing for that. It's not this registration, it's actually this whole other thing, right?
I
Where
don't think we have like its own,
Ordinance.
it was like a whole extra fee that they go out and charge.
but that's under, I think that's under the planning and building fees.
Yeah,
That's under.
Yeah, it's
that's
a
under the
total-
building.
but you wouldn't know that if you came in and just wanted a business registration, because
Yeah.
people who set up food trucks in here were kind of blindsided by that. They're like, what do you, yeah, I have to apply for this license through the building department. So that's what I mean, that needs to be.
Aren't permanent, they're,
Well, when as soon as they're hooked up to, like a propane tank, like she was, if they're here for if they're set up permanently, like more than whatever we have that at, 6 months, then he has to go out.
So that falls under the planning fees
Right.
and stuff, so that's something totally separate from business registration.
But how would we let them know that?
I
Right.
don't know.
When they come in to register their business and they say, I'm setting up in Old Town Square, my food trucks, that seems to be the place where people are trying to every now and then try to permanently set up there. And you say, oh, is it going to be a short term? Is it just for a couple weekends? You're going to leave and come back? Or are you going to be permanently set up there? Because then that opens up this whole other building
Then I
code
think you
thing, planning and
here.
building.
through this one, because I don't think you need to create a separate ordinance for something like that. You guys could explain it through here in the business registration and be like, okay, so if you are going to be a permanent food truck, here's the steps that need to be taken.
Please see building department.
Yes,
Okay.
I mean.
Yeah, and I think, and there again, though, I think that needs to be more in the form. Like,
Yeah,
if
but,
you,
I mean, you
I think we
guys-
need different business registration forms that people fill out depending on what business they have, so they get
But
the
form has to
information.
be built off of something.
Right.
You can't just willy-nilly create a form.
Right,
But
that,
not
and,
having an ordinance to back that form.
right,
If we just create a form, fill this out, they're like, well, where does it state that I have to fill this form?
right. So where does it, I mean, is it in the building department's fees that we've approved, is that where that's
It's not
at?
building, it's not, we gotta separate building department
Okay.
from planning. Planning fees is a separate thing from building.
But we approved them all on the
It
same
was the,
resolution,
but
right?
it was different because it was community development fees.
So I think that, to summarize what I'm hearing, if we want to have specific rules for a specific business, it needs to be an ordinance. I think what I'm hearing is we could put it in here, or I think more so we're leaning to having
What,
separate ordinance. Like, this covers a bunch, but
why don't you guys, not to interrupt, I was just,
I'm just thinking that this might be what you're about to say, so.
but what if you had like just a paragraph in it,
It-
forms,
Exactly,
and just explain,
Right.
forms will be provided for each
yep.
Specific,
specific
Business
business.
type.
and be aware there may be an ordinance that covers.
And that's just it, please,
Something like that,
Short, sweet,
yeah,
to the point.
that's a,
but let
And
them
then,
know there could
and
be
then
more.
forms created after the fact.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wonder where
Okay.
we would put
no,
that.
that's exactly what I was
Because
about to
people-
say, is putting
I
somewhere in
just
here.
know that Brian had to hunt
I think
down
at the beginning.
Yeah,
one of the food trucks in town because he was set up permanently, and he had not gone through the building department because they have to get their whole site plan approved, through,
Right.
and he had to pay an extra fee. And he did not know that, because it's not really anywhere.
yeah, and that's just it, I've had the conversation with several folks getting started, that it's just a confusing process, and when they think
Right.
that they have it, then there's something else that they find out, and it's
Yeah.
just, again, I just want it to be a little bit more clear, and I think it makes more sense, and it might just be that our website needs work. Like, when it's the whole doing business, like, these are your steps that you need to follow,
And here's
and-
the link.
yeah, here's the link to each one
Yeah.
of these things that you
Well,
need to have.
and just
we can do
even-
that with the forms. You
Even
can-
setting up the shack, I mean, just going through the health department,
Yep.
like, what do I need to do to make a commercial kitchen?
Yeah.
There was no clear thing out there, like, you need this, this, and this.
Yeah.
I mean, that would help so much. So I'm like, just kind of winging it. I'm like, okay, well, let's do a 3-compartment sink. Let's do.
And I mean, I think
you know.
that's one thing that's really nice with the short-term rental, like,
Ordinance.
registrations,
Yeah,
is when you go to register your short-term rental, there is a full cover page. It's like, these are the things that you need, and this is where you find that information.
right. And I would like to have that for some of
All
those
of
more confusing
Yep.
categories, I guess, of businesses or
Yeah.
or types of business, like
Mhm.
the food trucks. If it's a temporary, you're just coming in for a couple weekends, a year, here's your business registration. Make sure you have all
Yep.
of your, your health department things in order. If you're a contractor coming in and you're an electrician, make sure, you have your license, make sure you have your insurance.
Make sure that you see what the fines are for getting rid of waste.
Yeah, things,
Okay,
Thanks.
so, sorry, not
That-
to interrupt, I
that's
just
okay.
jumped on our website. So under the community development department, there's a temporary use permit application. So
Right.
this is the one, they set the fees, so it's fee attached if you're class 1 to 7 days, no fee. Class 2, 8
Right.
to 60 days, 150. Class 3, 61 days to 6 months is 400. And
Yep.
down here, it has type of use, your nursery, produce stand, food vendor, government use, Christmas tree sales. So that
that's it.
was under the community development part, so it's a temporary use permit.
Yeah.
So we have a form already.
So we're kind of double dinging them. I mean, like, we're giving them a business registration fee, and we're charging them $250 to be a temporary vendor, but now they're also getting a $400 fee. I mean, it's,
To get permanent.
to be, yeah. I mean,
So I don't,
I'm not, I guess I've been kind of confused about that, like,
Yeah.
why would we have a separate community development fee for that when we already are charging them in the business registration fee?
There's other fees that, even if people are still doing business in this town, there's other additional fees that people are gonna have to pay if they want to do something different than what's standard through the business registration fee. So if they want to be here longer than just the weekend or whatever,
Right,
there are more fees because of the departments involved that have to review them.
Right.
Because a business registration is not gonna cover Brian's time or the planner's time to do the extra
so
inspection.
what would they do with the nurse, I guess, what would community development, what would they be involved in, like with a nursery or a tree farm, or a
I
tree
have no idea.
stand?
That's not my department.
I know, but I guess I'm curious because, I mean, I think that was the big thing. I could see, needing the site plan and stuff like that for a food truck and making sure everything is safe and everything's up to code.
Yeah.
If they're there for more, especially if they're permanently hooked up, but what about how, but $400 fee is a lot.
And that's just it, it's like, okay, I think that's what we're saying, is we need a place to where you can see where some of these other fees are going to be, because, again,
Right.
when you're starting a business, that can be,
So it.
A
Make
big
or break.
surprise.
So it says that so here's additional stuff that shall be provided with the temporary use permit application. So you have to have the letter from the property owner giving permission. Vendor shall provide a copy of their city business, so it says business license application, obviously this one. Class 1 permits are exempt from providing the following information. So these would be for the Class 2, proof that nearby restroom facilities can be provided to employees, a site plan with the following information, boundary setbacks, parking locations, layout and traffic circulation, customer clearing location and type of lighting. So a contractor that comes in and wants to build something, that contractor still has to have a business registration.
Right,
But they have to pay the fee for building fees.
yeah, building
For-
permit, yeah.
Yeah, and going through anything that maybe planning board has, they have to pay that fee too. So I
Right,
guess it's just a part of doing business in this town. You're gonna have additional fees depending on what, because like I see it, a business registration is for them to do work or to have their business here. But if they want to extend it further than what our business registration covers, then they have to pay the additional fees, because obviously in that application for a temporary use, there's a lot of stuff that they have to provide, and our employees have
so
to make sure.
I think we need to reference that for a temporary use vendor
Uh-huh,
in
and I
here,
think that-
for sure, because there will be additional fees if this is a temporary vendor use.
So, and I think you could do that in that form paragraph.
right. And so I think right here, under application procedure for opening a new business, having, the form of application shall be determined by the mayor or designee and shall contain the following. So it's just like a legal thing that needs to be there. In order for the certificate of the business registration to be valid, they need to be in compliance with all future and city ordinances, including resort tax zoning, building, health and fire codes. I think it kind of covers that there.
Yeah.
But I think we can include, I also thought it was weird that have contracted for solid waste removal, because,
Yeah, well, you
That-
have to because it's not included in the city ordinance.
but
You
that's
have-
not necessarily true either. So I feel like that's something that would be outside of,
necessary.
If not provided by,
if not provided by the city. Or again, I just feel like it's a weird, I think, wouldn't that just be in a city ordinance somewhere? Like, that's part of our trash ordinance, isn't it?
So, but commercial isn't covered under our city ordinance for solid waste, and if they're doing a commercial business.
See,
they
that's the
have
thing, I
to-
just know we just did the solid waste ordinance.
We don't have anything in there that they're required
Okay.
to contract for solid.
That'd been nice to have it there, that'd make it, it's just weird here for me, but it's fine, we can leave it, it's not a big deal.
They have to have trash, that's, it's
Yeah.
just, yeah, period.
Well, yeah.
So it's just reiterating that, I'm okay
Have
with
to
that
have-
staying in there.
Contracted.
And then have a submitted and completed application. And I wonder, like, have submitted a completed application. How would you word that, like, the application tied to the type of business? So if we're gonna have applications for different, businesses or different types,
Is it a completed registration application? Is that what they're referring to?
Yeah.
yeah.
Then it should say
But if we're gonna have
registration.
different forms.
And we should have a disclaimer in there. That's something that different forms of businesses may have additional requirements, fees, and forms or something.
something
I think there
along that
needs to be some sort of disclaimer in there,
line.
about specific businesses may have additional
Yep,
fees
I
and
think-
forms and.
we just put it right here, either in C or below C, or in this,
I was actually going back to the beginning of this ordinance, where you've got the introduction and purpose, and then you go into definitions and then applicability, and I was thinking there that maybe somewhere in there it should say something that different types of businesses require a business registration and may also require additional, fees and, approvals,
Right,
inspections.
yeah.
I mean, there needs to be something else
It
there
just-
to say, and may.
The main thing was with those temporary vendor permits, I definitely think that something needs to be on the forms or something like that when they come in to register, so they know that there is a whole nother thing that they need to do.
That
It would
they're
make
ma-
Brian's job easier
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
not to have to chase them down.
Like if there's a yes or no question.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
your temporary business going to be a permanent location? Or
Yeah.
not? I don't
Because-
know, some kind of wording like
I
that.
think
All
whenever.
it says is temporary vendors must still follow rules of temporary
I
vendors.
know, it's like, what does that mean? What do I have to follow? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, so I think the way we could do it is the same way that we're kind of talking about with our land use and planning application for use of city-owned land, is having a vetting form that goes across the top. Like, before you get your application from the city, you have a quick questionnaire that tells the city, like, this is the packet we give you.
Yeah.
That's a really
It,
easy.
it's mainly like when you're setting up on a vacant lot and it's not an existing building, it sounds like. Then he has to come out and he has to do the site plan, he has to check the parking, he has to
Right,
check the,
but what I'm
and all of
saying
that,
is, this
so-
stuff all exists,
right,
but we just need to find a way to get it to the person.
right.
In
But
the
that needs to
beginning-
be the question though, are you going into an existing business or are you setting up on a vacant
And-
lot where we need to send out, a community development type building inspection type thing?
And I think my point is, that is a different piece that can be done by city clerk,
Right,
and without us doing it here, and
Okay.
we're running out of time, and I wanna get this done.
Okay. I understand.
So that's
So-
me, like,
so do we work on these forms later, or how do we?
I think so. I think
Okay.
if you guys get the ordinance done and then
Yeah.
somewhere just state,
yeah,
as far as the forms go, I just don't know how you would do the forms, so.
so business registrations,
If we take out all of the short-term rental stuff out of here.
Then we're done. Because that's 963, we've already got it in
That I am
963.
going through.
Well, we already updated 963, right?
no, that we're waiting for these to go in concert.
Oh,
But yes, we did update it,
right,
draft, it has not been approved, we'll put it that
right,
way.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's
and
what I'm
so
saying.
essentially, we would just move it all
Back to 963.
But there's also some stuff that would be included in 963 that has not been there before, specific to the registrations. And that's what going back to where we started this
I know.
So specifically, I think it just makes sense to, instead of having chapter 2 for short-term lodging, it just is its own ordinance in 963, and all of those pieces, like including registrations, including, oh God, hold on, let me scroll there. I hate having to have it zoomed in this much. It's so frustrating. So going through, we probably have definitions, applicability, regulations, like all of these pieces that are currently in chapter 2, we just have that as a part of 963. So terms and renewals, introductions and purpose, definitions, yeah, I think all of it.
Sense to put it in that ordinance
Yeah.
than the registration.
Yeah.
See, and I think that's where this got mucked up.
It's too specific.
Yeah, again, there's no other business that has its own chapter in registrations. So that's what made me think of it, is like, do we want to include marijuana? Do we want to include all those other things within this registration, or have separate ones for each?
And you
Because
can,
we'll miss something.
I mean, you, like Sandy said, you can reference for this type of business, the ordinance, for this type of business, the ordinance, and then.
And I think
Yeah.
that's more so something that happens at a front desk end.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what Jody's leaning to, is that we have, instead of including it in this ordinance, because that's stuff that will change and adapt, but, and we don't want to have the
Right.
same situation we're in right now, to where it's like, oh, if I want to update this registration ordinance, I have to update this,
Right,
this, or
exactly.
vice versa.
Like, it's all in the forms.
Yep,
Like, we have separate ordinances, and for the forms, you pull what you need. The city staff should
Yep.
know, okay, if this is you, you need to do this with us, you need to go to the building department and get this, you need to do this.
yep.
These are your steps.
We just don't
Or you
want,
need to go and you need to go to county health department next.
we don't want to see the
Overview.
redundancies between ordinances, that if something
Exactly.
changes here, it's now contradictory there.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the big
Exactly.
thing to avoid.
We have
Perfect,
done that.
yay, we got it.
Wow.
Okay, so, going back, not to STRs, but going back up to, let's see, applicability, business registrations may require, or actually, a business, do business, I guess.
Are you on 3-1?
I am on 313.
Okay.
To operate a business within City of Red Lodge. A operator will be required to open a business registration certificate and may have other applicable fees and application and I don't want to say paperwork.
Requirements? Departments. Uh-huh.
Yep, that's going to be city departments, but departments or
Other departments,
issuing entities.
yeah, because, I mean, it could be a state, it could be,
Exactly.
it could be county, it could be, you know,
It is the
can't, you know, if you're,
responsibility.
Should that be 1A? I mean, A is, you know, no provision shall be construed as an attempt.
I don't think it matters.
And no provision of time should be construed as an attempt to exercise their power. No. And then, to operate.
I
I don't know. I would put the.
I don't think it matters.
I'd put the happy one first, and then the no's later. That would be me anyway.
I don't know if this is a happy one. This is telling me that I might have to pay more money.
I know, right?
But it starts
Exactly.
it right off the bat. Here's the deal. We're not
Right.
trying to, you know,
Right.
we have to have
Just
this.
because you have a business registration in Red Lodge doesn't necessarily mean you're legal to do the business that you're applying for.
Yeah.
Because you may need other licenses, and they are licenses, not
Yeah.
registrations.
We're allowed to say licenses there.
Yes, so, I mean, you can't set up an accounting shop and say you're a CPA if you're not a CPA. So.
Can't be a realtor without being a realtor, like.
Yep, you can't be a property manager without
Real
actually
estate
being a licensed
salesperson.
property manager.
Ooh,
We
on
can
that note, I have
give you the
a quick
registration,
note
but-
for Danae
Yeah, you don't have,
on
you don't have to be
registration.
a realtor to sell real estate. You just have to be licensed by the
Yeah.
state. to sell
It's just a
real
really
Yeah.
quick one. It's, instead of
Realtors
having
store.
property
Yeah.
management registration, it
Close.
should be licensed, because it is licensed. But I get
Yeah, nice.
And in-
where our brain is on that track, but that is
Realtor
the one
and
time where it is appropriate to have
craft form.
license. So that was it. That was my one note. I'm like, oh no, this is an actual license.
I think he's acting as
Obtain
an attorney.
these, or said requirements, or those. Okay, I'm not even gonna put that. I think it's just, city, lodge, name.
Is it the operator or the owner?
I think it's the operator.
I think it's the owner of the business. What? Operator could be somebody who runs the business for him.
Owner, operator.
I'd just say owner. Or how about just go to,
How about we just say the
Red Lodge.
business,
Yeah, how about,
just the business.
Yeah,
The business will be required to obtain a business registration.
certificate, and may have other applicable fees and requirements from other departments or issuing entities. Do we really want to get into that proof of?
Nope, I just immediately started to delete it. I hated it once I started to type it. Okay, so I will go through and basically just copy and paste what we have in the short-term rental section into 963. I can
Okay.
do, and I'll actually just do that.
Review 963 and see if part of it's redundant or.
Well, that's the thing, is we intentionally took all of this out of 963 to remove redundancies and moved it into here, and now we're just taking it all out again.
Again,
moving it
I
back.
know,
Which is fine, again,
It's a better
literally
place for it.
Control-C, like, it's no big deal.
I know, well, and it's more that, I do agree that, I mean, there's no way we can put every business in there, so.
And again, I didn't have a hard preference left or right, I just felt it was weird that it was just short-term lodging.
Exactly, like it was aimed for.
Yeah, and I get it, like, there's a lot of extra things for that, but there's also a lot of things for marijuana, yeah, exactly, and I'm like, it's just, there's going to be those situations, and where does it live, and let's make it consistent.
It's like sexually oriented businesses.
Yeah,
In planning, we have an exact requirement for location,
yep,
but we don't have an ordinance for it.
we should. Let's make it fun, too.
Well, the only place they can have it is at Berkshire.
Yeah. God, that'd be a great spot, though. Like, I pictured a very Beetlejuice type of, like,
Well,
Cheeky.
it's also very specific
Oh.
to what you can put in the window.
yeah. So you can have a sexually oriented business at Berkshire Halfway, only there.
That's the only
They
location
used to have one
town.
in town when I moved here.
Really?
It was like it was in the back of a store somewhere where you could go get,
Dirty magazines and such.
oh, yeah. Well, those were sold at the gas station,
Still good about the gas station.
yeah, like,
Honestly, I always thought it'd be fun to have, like, a burlesque style dancing or dance hall upstairs at the
So we-
bistro.
are we good for now?
Yeah, I think we're good for now. I guess.
Recording.
So I will have this all moved over into 963 and try
Okay.
and clean that up for our next meeting.
Okay,
That being said, do we want to have this up for discussion at our next council meeting? Because, I don't know, have you guys gone through the STR section? Did you have any notes, or do you want to wait to do that? Because, I mean, if we're moving over 963, we can have 907 ready for discussion at our next meeting, because we've gone through the rest of 907, and then we'll just
Yeah.
be getting rid of the rest,
I
so.
think 907's ready.
Okay.
I think it is too.
So we'll have that ready for discussion. I'll get it in a functional read form as well as the red line copy.
That's what I was doing, for one of the things in public health and safety. I'm gonna give them an easy read to what we'd like it to be, and here's what we changed.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
It's so much easier.
Yeah.
Trying
Well,
to read it when it's.
Trying to read this is a hot mess.
Underlined.
Like,
I know, but then people are like, well, what'd you change? Now I have
So
to
here's
compare
that.
it.
There it is.
Everything, yeah, so.
No, and that's
So you
totally
have
it.
to
We'll
have
provide both.
It's like,
And then we'll
Yeah.
do the same for 963, and I already have the markup from 963, so I'm not even gonna touch that one. I'm just basically gonna move everything we have here,
yeah,
then add what we do have in 963 to here. That's kind of my plan.
So this is not gonna be for tonight, this will be for
So, and I don't
December, whatever.
Uh-huh.
you need to put business
Seven.
registration fees in the short-term rental part of it. Because they're a business, they're already,
Yeah.
you know, like, I'm just looking at the 3-2-8, that could go away. Because that's just completely business registration fees.
Yeah, no,
And
and that's
like-
just it. There's some redundancies.
Yeah, I mean, I
so-
think we're just gonna be going through and deleting, you know, a lot of the business registration fees
Yeah.
stuff, the business registration stuff, unless it has something particular to them, you know, where,
Yeah, and again, I think I have 3-28 all pulled out already.
okay,
So yeah, if you look up, that's deleted.
okay, perfect.
Yeah,
I don't have the markup.
we don't need,
copy
do
of
we
the
need these
original.
repealers?
That's yes.
Okay, keep those.
Well,
If it was in the first one, you have to mark it that it's repealed.
but those only apply to the short-term rental stuff, right?
Yes,
In there, then those don't need to be in there, because you're not gonna have that in there.
Okay.
Anything that's
But it
3-2.
might go into the other,
Can you, find that out for me? Because otherwise, I don't know where you want. I'll just leave them for now, and if we don't need them, then we can delete them.
Yeah, 3-2 is fine, but then 3-3 was repealed, 3-4. I don't think 3-3, 3-4, and 3-5 were part of short-term rental. I don't know what they were.
they were probably part of the original business
yeah,
registration
those
ordinance.
probably have to.
Those can stay, and 3-2 can,
All 3-2 is out.
we'll put it in with 963. No, it wouldn't go to
So this is
963.
okay.
We'll just delete that. I'm just gonna do that for my own brain. And then,
So this is 11 years old.
So just quickly, before we leave, we're out for our first meeting in December for the short-term rental report.
cool.
So, annual report, so, I don't know if I can, I will go through and start updating it. I might need some help on the graphs and stuff.
Okay.
If you could help me with those.
Yeah, if you can get the updated stuff and then send it to me for cleanup.
Okay.
That should be fine.
Okay,
Big thing is I'll be working on this, so.
yeah, no, that's fine. I'll go in and update the, add the numbers and stuff like that to it, and then if you wanna just make the graph look pretty.
Word bird. Oh boy, tonight's gonna be so much fun, you guys. I'm so excited.
Okay, meeting adjourned?
Yes.
I would say